Okay, how's everybody doing? I hope everybody is enjoying their day. This is part 2 of a video that I did on what does it mean when you have a solar return and a lunar return on the same day. And I'm also following up on Metonic cycles, this new concept that I learned about called Metonic cycles. So we're going to jump straight in. I drew these charts by hand. This is candle wax. I was putting it off doing this video because I was like, I'm going to redraw another chart. But time is getting away from me, and I want to go ahead and get this documented while it's still on my mind. So we just going to roll with what we got here. This hasn't taken place yet. It's getting ready to take place in a couple of months. Matter of fact, a little bit under 2 months from now, my solar revolution will be taking place. I was forecasting. I was pulling my solar return and my lunar return, and I happened to notice that it's taking place on the same day. And to recap the first video, what I discovered is this concept called Metonic cycles, which pretty much explains how it takes it takes 19 years for the moon to transit back to the exact point at which it was, and in this case, on the day of your birth. So this is my second Metonic cycle. For those of you who are wanting to do these calculations, just to give it to you quickly, your first Metonic cycle likely took place at the age of 19. Your second one is taking place 19 years after that. I'm not even, look, y'all do the math. I don't want to date myself. So, as we can see here, I'm also into numerology, so I'm entering into a personal year of number 5. This is my personal year of 5 right here. And it's a Metonic site. This is my solar return chart that I drew here. And as we can see, my ascendant is right here in Virgo, 15 degrees, 27 minutes. And my sun for this solar return chart is over here in the 7th house in Pisces, along with Neptune, Jupiter, and Chiron. So I have a stellium in the 7th house. I also have a stellium in the 8th house with Venus, Uranus, the North Node, and Mercury. And really, if the North Node is here, we already know South Node is going to be opposite. So K2 is going to be over here in Libra. I just drew them in there. Okay. And I've been taking notes, of course, on things that I have been noticing about this chart. And I learned a few concepts. So fortunately for everybody, I'm going to teach you a new concept that I learned, actually, which is called mutual reception. And in order for mutual reception to take place, we need to have, I'm going to show you the example. This is how I discovered it. Do we see here how Mercury is in the zodiac sign of Aries over here? And we know Mercury rules what planet? Hopefully we know. If we don't know off the top of our head, first off, just a brief reminder. You need to know all of the zodiac signs and all of the house placements, okay? And all of the planets. If we're really wanting to use astrology strategically, to improve our lives for personal development, etc., okay? But enough about that. I'll tell you, Mercury rules over Gemini, and it also rules over Virgo. And as we can see over here, this is Gemini is at my MC, which is my midheaven, the highest point of the chart, the 10th house. And who do we have there? We have the planet Mars, right? You see Mars? That's Mars. That's the glyph for Mars. And so a mutual reception happens. It takes place when two planets are sitting in the house rulership, the domicile of the other. So, for example, in this example, we know that Mars rules Aries, yet Mars is over here in Gemini. And we see that Mercury rules Gemini, yet is over here in the zodiac sign of Aries. So that's a mutual reception. I hope that was clear. If you have any questions about it, leave it down below. And I could provide some more examples or rewind it back a couple of times and let it sink in what I just told you. However, that's a mutual reception. So it pretty much means that these two planets, Mars and Mercury, they can tag team right now because they are seeing things from each other's point of view and can provide each other guidance. Okay, Mars can be like, hey, in a sign of Aries, this is normally how I conduct business, and vice versa. Mercury can tell Mars over in Gemini, this is how you can get things to run more efficiently, to run more smoothly. Okay, now this is going to take place on April 3rd. My solar return is on April 3rd. This chart is my 2023 solar return chart, and this is taking place on April 3rd. When I pulled my lunar return chart, and that's this one over here, so I drew this one out by hand, and it doesn't have candle wax. I had a tea light candle on this one, and it spilled. When I pulled my lunar return chart, what I noticed is that my lunar return is also on April 3rd. The time is different though. My solar return is at about 7:43 p.m. My lunar return is taking place, I think, like at 1 a.m. I have to notate it here. Now remember what I showed you over here. I showed you that my ascendant is over here in Virgo, and the solar return. In this lunar return chart, my ascendant swapped, and it's now Pisces. See that? With Virgo over here in the 7th house. The moon is still in Leo and it's still at 18 degrees, but instead of being in 12th house like it is in a solar return chart here, it's now over here in the 6th house and this lunar return chart that I drew. Okay. I went back 19 years in the past and I pulled my charts for when this was taking place 19 years ago. So that was on April 2nd of 2004 was the first time that I had experienced this phenomenon in my life. And actually that particular day, it was April 2nd instead of April 3rd. So my solar return happened the day before my birthday. And I was able to confirm that yes, my solar return and my lunar return did take place on the same exact day. However, the house placements were different. I didn't print out the charts yet, and my children are down on the computer now. So I might have to do a part 3 where I'm going to compare and contrast what happened 19, to the best of what I can remember. I told you I joined the military. I was in the military when I turned 19, a month after my birthday. But I would like to show the chart, show you what the placements were 19 years ago, and then compare it to what's happening now 19 years later, what's getting ready to take place. And then I'm also going to check in probably maybe at the halfway mark of my Metonic cycle and let you guys know what type of year I'm having. I'm expecting marvelous things to happen, honestly. I'm expecting to take great use of the energy and to make some magic happen. I'm just going to keep it all the way 100 with you. For real. And I'm going to touch back in because I haven't noticed a lot of astrologers documenting this or sharing their experience with this about what exactly takes place when this Metonic cycle goes down. Now, some more information about the Metonic cycle. It's a timing technique that helps to rectify the variances between solar time and lunar time, because I think we all know by now that the moon is traveling exponentially faster through the zodiac signs in comparison with the sun, right? So for solar energy, the astrological formula is like for every day, solar day that is the equivalent to a year. But for the moon is literally every time we have a new moon, full moon cycle, every 28, 29 days, the moon just hauled tail throughout the whole entire zodiac versus the 365 days approximately that it takes for the sun to make it all the way through the, uh, and really I would say 360 days because this chart is 360 degrees that we're looking at. I don't even know where these 5 extra days came from, honestly. And that's going to throw me into a whole nother thing. I do know, but it would take a long time for us to break down all of the complexities as to why our time, especially here where I live in the West, using the Gregorian calendar system, it's off. It's not accurate. That's why we have leap years every 4 years, and why some months are 28 days, some months are 30 days, some months are 30. It's bogus. Okay, it's just bogus. It's a lot going on because our time, the way that we're keeping time now is inaccurate. So everything is with a lot of these timing systems, there are a lot of variances, which is one of the reasons why I love astrology so much, because I feel as though it helps us to connect back with telling time in a more accurate and natural way that's in alignment with with what's actually taking place versus what some council came together and decided time was going to be when they decided to create it to get everybody on the same page and on the same schedule. Okay, so key takeaways from this video: if you're not pulling your lunar return charts monthly and you're into astrology, there's a whole nother sector of predictions and of information that you're missing out on. A lot of astrologers, we know to pull our solar return. We know to do this annually when our birthday is coming. That's what a solar return is. It's when the sun returns back to the same degree and the same zodiac sign that it was within your natal chart. So obviously, step one is to make sure you have a natal chart. Um, I would recommend memorizing it by heart. Know your natal return, your natal chart by heart. If you don't know it by heart, at least have a copy of it on hand at all times, when studying astrology so that you can always reference it because that's your origin point. Let's think of that as your origin point. That's your starting data. That's the data that we're starting off with. Everything that we're going to do, if you're trying to predict when it comes down to you as it pertains to you, that's going to be your reference. Your point of reference is always going to be your natal chart. Then from your natal chart, annually pull a solar return so you can get an idea of what your year ahead is going to be. The lunar return is a monthly forecast that can give you an idea of the month ahead. And this is tracking when the moon returns to the same degree and the same zodiac sign that it was at the time of your birth. And you have one every single month. But what doesn't happen every single month is what I'm explaining to you right now, which is Metonic cycles. This only happens once every 19 years. So there's only going to be one chart, one solar return, and one lunar return that's going to coincide and happen on the same exact day. And it's only going to happen one time every 19 years. And I'm wanting to make sure that I document this and I rein this in because honestly, I don't hear this often. And if anybody comes across my video, I want to make sure that y'all know, share the wisdom, share the intel. Once every 19 years, this is a very special and important birthday for you. In particular, it's like a reset. You're getting to realign with time. You're getting to realign your solar and your lunar energies. That's another tip I have. Hold on, let me get it. 1 second. Hold on. Just one quick remedy. I have here some moonstone. This is rainbow moonstone right here. I have here some sunstone. This is the pinkest sunstone I've ever seen, but this is sunstone, okay? I recommend carrying these two. I've been carrying these two stones. I already started. My solar return ain't even here yet. I already started carrying both of these because this is the time where I feel like you can really balance out your solar and your lunar energies. I feel like this is a great time where you can reset your consciousness and your subconsciousness. Um, these two stones can help to balance it out, or at least help you to trigger them in your mind, like to focus on balancing out those two energies if you're not like inclined to carrying gemstones and crystal healing and all of that. And it's important to be mindful of it. So whatever is going down when you're getting ready to turn 19, or when you're getting ready to turn 38, when you're getting ready to turn 19 years after the 38, what's that, like 47? These are pivotal years. These are pivotal marks. Did I say 47? Is that right? Check my math. Every 19 years, once every 19 years, you have an opportunity to reset your solar and your lunar energies. It comes back into alignment just one time every 19 years. I hope this is drilling in and really honing into you so you can really understand the gravity and the importance of this. And so I don't care what is going on in your life up until this point. It don't even matter. This is the time to consciously and to purposely change it, and change it in a manner in which you want it to go. I mean that. That's why I even came with chart over here looking crazy, got candle wax on it. I didn't even care. I had to get this information out. I had to. Part 3, 4, 5 is probably coming. I'm probably going to do multiple parts because now I have to let y'all know what's going down, what to expect. I'm traveling on my birthday. Not too far from where I'm at right now, but I will be traveling. I'm going to bring in my birthday celebrating. I recommend anybody who's getting ready to have a Metonic cycle, celebrate and live it up. Do whatever it is that you actually want to do, and to do more of. For the upcoming days of your birthday. And then I have some more information that I want to share as well, and I'll do it in another video. I'm about to stop here. I gotta start cooking dinner, but I just was like, let me go ahead and just document this. All right, signing in, out, above, beyond, below, beneath, underground, all around, uptown, downtown, midtown, here, there, anywhere, everywhere, nowhere, past, present, future, now, out.